Hello everybody, and welcome to the very first update podcast, as I'm going to either not call them or call them. It is a still work in progress, but this one's going to be really cool because it's only going to focus on my channel's updates as well as any adventures, any other things I am deciding to go do. So with that being said, I just recently got back from Philadelphia and Washington DC, which I will be returning, so there will be another huge shortage of my videos going out there, but you know, it happens. We gotta do what we gotta do in order to make money and actually proceed in making our lives better. So with that being said, I hope you guys forgive me for all the late arrivals of videos and whatnot. With that, I begin with my updates and my channel updates, as well as life updates. That being said, I am reviving, if not, continuing on my epic saga of Fallout 4 videos. I have just recently, since I've been back, made a few new ones, but I uploaded some of my older ones, and that's what I'm going to proceed with until, Nuka-Cola World, the final DLC content comes out, and then I'm going to be doing a lot of playthroughs through there. I got a lot of other videos coming from Far Harbor that I've yet to release, but I'm still working on the Commonwealth in its entirety. So with that being said, I hope you guys look forward to seeing it. I should be uploading not only that, I'll upload another one here soon before the week's out, if not maybe two, if you're special. I'm going to try to get back up to my drive of one video a day, but realistically, it may become a little bit less organized and more sporadic in my videos, simply because I am still in the transit of developing, well, not really developing, I've already developed it, but actually coming back into the groove of being back home, getting things together, trying to get life in order, and all that fun stuff. So I hope you're patient, and I hope you work with me, and I'll have all kinds of other goodies to spew out for. My other series I've been working on, Back to Morrowind, I'm going to continue working on that, obviously, because I got quite a bit of footage on it, and I want to try to get some things together. I'm going to have that one updated and being released, I want to say end of this week, but realistically, we're going to try to anytime. Anytime I'm back to Morrowind. So with that, I'm also developing a new concept of team play. I've done it before, like obviously with Crash Bandicoot and a few other games, but this one I'm going to work with someone in particular I will mention later on, a new teammate, potentially. She's going to be working with me quite a bit, so I look forward to her cooperation with me and some of the other projects that I have in store. Retro gaming, I am still developing more retro games. I'm getting a hold of other games. I also got a hold of a Super Nintendo game called Super Mario Party, which is not the same as the one we know. Oh no, I lied entirely. I'm a horrible person. It's called All-Stars, Mario All-Stars. It's an old NES game. I'm going to try to get a system, which they just released a new one, a little plug and play. NES, Nintendo did. So whenever I ascertain that, I'm going to be doing some of those kinds of content games, some really retro games. And if I can find a hold, or if I can gather any other games related to that, I will be doing that. But as for retro gaming, I got some Final Fantasy Tactics, original Final Fantasy games, a few old Fallout games, and a whole slew of other games that I just recently purchased. So keep an eye out on some of that, and I will let you guys know when I'm going to be releasing those, or they will be released, and you'll be like, oh man, that's so cool, I want to check it out. And so you will check it out, and you'll let me know what you like about it, if you like anything about it, or if you don't like anything about it. Hopefully. I hope so. But with that being said, for new videos, it's all Fallout 4, and hopefully a little bit more Back to Morrowind, and maybe a brand new game saga video coming out. Maybe. It's all up in the air, and I'm still developing content. That being said, I do have as I said earlier, as I repeat myself profusely, new series of games I've acquired, and I'm going to be releasing out into the world. So here is just a few of them to be said, because I bought about 50-something odd games on a good deal. So here they are. Here's 4. Only 4. Space Hulk, which is pretty much a 40K or a Warhammer 40k game set on a derelict chaos ship that travels between warps in the sphere of Warhammer 40k. So you have a Terminator unit, or I believe it's a Terminator unit, or either a Space Marine unit, one of the two, a tactical squad. For those of you that are actually knowledgeable in the Warhammer lore, the 40k lore, they investigate this ship that just came out of the warp. So with that being said, they got to discover what hidden mysteries and new terrors await them. I'll be playing that one, explaining or doing my usual in that game. That's going to be one of the newer videos I'm focusing on. Democracy 3 is another one that I just acquired. It's literally a game developed based on the whole political system of our of the world, of the government that we currently reside in. Well, kinda, but it's pretty much based on, you know, you got to be a popular politician, you got to play like a politician, you got to make promises to certain groups to get votes, you got to promise, you know, the citizens, you got to cultivate fanfare, you got to develop, you know, policies, you got to maintain, you know, once you get elected, you got to maintain your status in there, handling policies, making compromises, all the sorts, while also, you know, developing your base of support, your support bases, either developing new ones, cultivating, you know, old ones, all that sort. It's a pretty interesting game, and it looks really elaborate. I've never played the first or second one, but I was recommended about the third one, so that's where I'm going to start my saga personally whenever I get started. There's also another game I hadn't mentioned. Also, it's going to be 5 games now instead of 4. I changed my mind, which happens frequently. A game called Banished. I've been playing that avidly. I guess? No. I've been playing that quite often, obviously. I originally discovered it when I was in Denmark. A friend told me about it, and I seen a little expat of it for a little bit, and it looked interesting, but never delved into buying it. Just recently I acquired it at a good price, so I decided, hey, why not? Right now I'm in the midst of learning the mechanics, developing on that, you know, playing, balancing stuff. It's extremely fun, but also can be very boring and tedious at the same time, which I will play it and elaborate on that. But I recommend checking that video out whenever I get one subscribed and built, and, you know, proceed on that. One of my all-time favorite real-time strategy games is Homeworld. I have acquired the remastered Homeworld 1 and 2, and I've been playing Homeworld 1 in the campaign, which is really tough comparatively. It's fun, but it's still tough. I'm become more used to the current game selections and the new genres they have now. But as a relic, it is a wonderful game, and I will be producing either a short-term video based on that or a playthrough on the campaign, and, you know, hopefully everybody will like that. And it's hitting back to the PS4, the console genre, Oda Nobunaga's Ambition and Sphere of Influence, which is really fun and immensely detailed. I look forward to continuing on that one. I've been playing it for a while until I've literally took over most of Japan in my first real 2 playthroughs. But when I do my videos, we're going to start different. I'm going to have different settings, expectations, and you know, there's going to be different rules, so it's not going to be as easy. But at the same time, I'm going to, you know, thoroughly delve into the Japanese lore of the world and the histories, which is going to be fun. Well, I think will be fun. I don't know about you guys thinking about it, but since I have a personal connection to Japan, it'll be a really insightful game, and it'll allow me to play on other topics. And I lied again. Instead of 5, I'm going to do 6. This is my last one, promise. I just remembered all the fun games I have. Romance at the Three Kingdoms. I want to say 18, but I could be vastly wrong. It's probably 17, or maybe even lower than that. But it's just been released on the PS4, and I've read some reviews on the several sites about it, and they're very skeptical about it, and it has a really, really strong mixed reviews on it, where there's some praise for it, but then there's a vast amount of negative on it. And the reason I say, you know, obviously, it sounds one-sided. Wouldn't it be more negative as opposed to mixed? Well, original content was, or original responses were positive, because it was, the game wasn't released in English. So, you know, the Chinese players and Korean players really enjoyed it, and some of the Oriental did. But once it was not noticeable by the English players that bought onto it, then it became more problematic because, you know, that was a big part, that was a negative, where they said, oh, well, it's not in English, or, well, you know, it's in a different language, or, you know, I had this problem and that. And the translations didn't work at the time. So that's where the mixed reviews actually come from. But I also heard that some of the gameplay on it was very skeptical, in a sense that they really didn't develop on it. They didn't really develop on the battle scenes. They really bland out the diplomacy, the debates in it. And it also cut down on the micromanaging abilities in it. They made it really tedious to handle certain actions like invading cities or developing your cities, like with mines, or not mines, but mints, trade markets, and such like that. Because I have the original PlayStation 2 ones. I have a lot of them. I'm an avid fan of the Romance of the Three Kingdoms series. And obviously, since I do enjoy Oda Nobunaga's game, Ambition, that game, the Japanese-based one, instead of the Chinese-based game, which is made by the same company, Koei, K-O-E-I, which is really phenomenal for simulation games, but they've been just slacking. They've been just reproducing, and obviously from the sounds of it, they just keep reproducing the same system except cutting out a lot of it instead of developing newer strategies, newer branches of governance, military activists or activities and that. But I really do want to get a hold of it, but I'm in the middle water on that one. I'm going to have to debate on it because I've been getting them every other year. Usually I have 7, 12, and I think I got 14. That's why I want to say I get them every off year because they do tend to bland out and be the same rehashing of a game instead of new content. They just rehash it kind of and take either certain aspects of it away and then implement new little tedious sorts of improvements, which really don't end up being improvements. They just always tend to be just an aggravation in the long run. That being said, that is the end of the saga for new games that I will be either presenting or playing. That's a list of what I'm going to try to do, not a list of what I'm going to do. Let me remind. I'm going to try to get all that. But, as I said earlier, and I reluctantly wanted to delve into it then, introducing my new team member, I'm only going to call her by Firefly for the time being because that's going to be her username on our team. Once we get everything settled and working better and got some projects underway and so whatnot, I will properly introduce her, and it will be a really interesting saga to see how we work together and see how everything, transpires between the two of us. See what kind of dynamic we build upon and see where all the projects will lead to us. So I want to welcome her aboard, and I look forward to all of our projects together. That being said, that was the end of my updates. Now, when it comes to the credits, I end this saga with shoutouts, which I actually don't have any shoutouts or plugs, really. Everybody's been, busy doing their own thing, so respectively, I let them do what they need to do, and I do what I have to in that regard, which makes no sense, but just let me talk. I'll do what I need to do. Also, if you liked anything I've done recently or have any comments, questions, or want to investigate more of what I'm doing, what I'm about, who I am, and what is necessarily awesome about me, go check out my personal website, www.cohort, co.com, for all the coolest stuff about me, my cool website, a little bit more in depth about where I'm at in my life and what's going on, and just a general me page. So check that out. Support is always welcome, and interest is always welcome. I love people to comment, suggest anything. Supporting everything is people have to support something, and it's always necessary for people to do that in order to make you feel a little bit less non-unique. Also, I will plug this into my lower part of my channel. Go check out my Mgore page. Stuff I find funny is the name, and I post occasionally fun stuff and occasionally other stuff, which makes no sense. And it's just a picture form with all kinds of goodies, good goodies, which I'll have a link below. So go check it out. Give some love there. Also, if you haven't already yet, through my website or my Mgore, go check out my Facebook page, which is equally as beneficial to you investigating it as is my website, which is always fun. It is under the links below. Go check it out. Give it a like. Give it a share. You know, all Facebook support is always welcome. And I also share more content that is more up to date regarding like articles, information pieces. You know, stuff that usually you see Facebook crowded with all kinds of dumb stuff, as well as, you know, trigger-happy stuff, where I try not to focus on any trigger-happy stuff or dumb stuff necessarily. I like dumb stuff, but funny stuff. I try to inform the average citizen of what they need to be concerned about. Not only that, but also educating, because education is in high demand, and we need to be educated. Else, you know, we'll just be dumb sheep and follow along the world. That being said, be sure, if you have not already, to subscribe to this channel to get any updates, to keep up a regular pace of what I'm doing, what's going on. And if you have any more interest, yes, be sure to subscribe so you can get daily acting. Yes, all that jazz. And song credits, which will be placed below. Be sure, I will have a link to the song creators page. Be sure to go check them out. Give them a listen to, share them. You know, every little bit helps, truthfully. Because we are a local community. You know, because even on the internet, you may be anonymous to everybody and whatnot, but it's still a community. And you need to outreach to people. You need to support everybody. You know, if people help one another, we can achieve so much more, and we can grow so much better, and the world will only benefit from this sort of growth. So I implore you to find and support anybody and help everybody, because that's what the world really needs at this moment in our life. So with that being said, I bid you a fond farewell, and always remember, keep it classy, never trashy, and if you can be nice to somebody, be nice, because you may never get another chance to do it. See ya.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba